Howdy everyone, I am Jerry Muir, the 4-H agent in Brazos County, and today we're going to talk about record books for intermediates. I'm going to go through some slides and talk about the different parts and pieces to make up your record book, as well as what goes into your story, and how to make these record books as complete and successful as possible when it comes to judging. If you used this system in the past, 4-H records, 4HReports.com, the system is no longer available. It probably will never come back. Everything is in downloadable Word forms, and we'll show y'all where to get all these forms off the state 4-H website at the end of this presentation. If you did a record book last year, there's no big changes from last year to this year. They will be prepared again using the Word files. You download them, type them in, print them out, put them in the green record book folders we have here at the extension office, and they're good to go. There's 3 different categories: juniors, grades 3 through 5, intermediates, the ones we're going to be focused on here in this training, grades 6 through 8, and senior level 4-Hers, grades 9 through 12. There are different age-appropriate forms for each age division. They're progressive in nature. If you did a junior last year, intermediates is a little bit more in depth, and from intermediates to seniors it gets really in depth. But we're only going to focus on the intermediate group today. So here. Record books are to be printed and turned in. Like I said, in hard copy form, we have the green record book covers here at the extension office. They're free for you to come by and pick up, punch holes, put your record book report forms, story in, turn in for submission. Just a few things are no longer required. Reference to record book objectives in your report. They're not required. Photo captions are not required. You can put them in there, but they are not required. And resumes for seniors are not required any longer either. Just a few more things. Clarification on reporting. Activities that occur in non-4-H settings, such as other community or youth organizations, or in a self-directed project, may be reported in your junior diary. For intermediates, they're reported in your personal journal. Seniors, you report these in section 1 as learning experiences. Competitive events outside of 4-H are to be reported as non-4-H. Some examples of that are if you're showing livestock and you show at jackpot shows during the weekends, or horse shows, you participated other outside rodeos, or 4-H or horse shows that are non-4-H sanctioned, or livestock shows, not the major livestock shows. Those go in non-4-H. If you show at 4-H, county 4-H horse shows, district 4-H horse shows, state shows, livestock, any major county livestock shows, those go as 4-H events, and everything else is non-4-H. Your report forms. Your juniors submit your current year only. Intermediate, you submit this year and last year's report forms. Not your story and photo portfolio, just your report forms. Both of those are reviewed to evaluate growth in your 4-H career. Seniors, they will submit the current year plus your 3 previous years to evaluate growth. Just a couple more notes. Livestock judging can be reported as a standalone project, not a category, but its own project. Other judging contest activities such as horse, soils, meats, consumer decision making, any of those are to be reported within the 4-H project it supports. For an example, horse judging directly supports the horse project. Livestock judging involves multiple different species, therefore it can be reported as a standalone project. All members earning first place recognition are allowed to enter the same record book category the following year. If you win your record book category at the county level, you then qualify to go to the district level. For juniors and intermediates, the district is as far as you can advance. For seniors, if you win your category at the district level, then you advance to the state contest, and this is where the next paragraph comes into play. If you win your category at state in one of the 29 different categories we're going to talk about shortly, you qualified to go to the Texas 4-H Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C., held over the Thanksgiving holidays. That part there is only for seniors, so as you get to be a senior, they'll talk more about that trip as well. Okay, just a couple more things before we get started. into the book itself. Remember, record books are judged on content, not the format. There's many different ways to put these record books together when you start filling in the boxes and your stories and stuff, but it's judged on the content of the 4-H'er, not the formatting. And also, when you start putting things together, remember, you have your story and photo portfolio has a 10-page max, 3-page minimum of text, and 3-page minimum of photos. But we'll talk about that as we get closer to, or when we get to that section. I just want to make those notes in there. Typically like to keep it at no smaller than size 10 font as you go forth. Let's talk about the different categories. There are 29 categories to choose from. You may enter a category even after winning the first place at the state level, primarily for seniors, but whatever record book, you choose the category that best fits the projects you're involved with. So if you show steers, heifers, commercial heifers, any of that, beef project would probably be where your category. If you're part of the food and nutrition project is with the food show, maybe on the food challenge team, food nutrition would probably be the project, your record book category. On the state 4-H website we're going to reference here at the end of this presentation, it has a link to a more detailed handout with all of these listed and some project specific types that fall under some of these. You might have questions. If the project you're doing fits better under one of the other ones, I would reference that guide, the record book categories guide on the state 4-H website. Okay, let's start talking about how to put your record book together. At the beginning, first few pages that we must have in your record book is the Brazos County Record Book Judging Form right here. This is found on our county 4-H websites under the 4-H Publications tab. This is just saying, yes, I want my record book judged. No, I do not want my record book judged. Highly recommend, if you're doing one, to select yes, I do, sign it, put that at the front page of your record book when you turn that in. The next thing we need is your 4-H record book check sheet. Make sure you put your name, your record book category. We're District 9 in Brazos County. Put that behind this record book judging form, and then follow it with the personal information page. You download this off the state 4-H website, fill it out, what record book category you're in, name of your 4-H club, number of members in your club or group. If you don't know that, you can contact your club manager or us here at the extension office. We'll be happy to help you get those. Make sure you sign it, your parents sign it, and then we'll sign all these record books before they go to the district contest. Let's get into the intermediate book. Again, focuses on one main project for the current 4-H year only. Other project areas, if any, can be included in your personal journal, project of summary activities, and your story/photo portfolio. The required documents of all 3 pages we just talked about on the previous slide, plus your intermediate report forms and your story and photo portfolio. In the order they need to go in is the personal information page, your check sheet, those are first, followed by your photo and story, then your report forms. Again, your photo and story portfolio goes in front of your intermediate report form. Okay, you turn in all the required documents with this current year. If you did an intermediate record book last year, you can turn your intermediate report forms in, but do not put your story and photo portfolio in there. Take those out from last year. Just put your report forms in there. Parts of the report form, and we'll go into these in detail here in just a second. They have the 4-H project plans and goals. You complete these at the start of the 4-H year. It has a personal journal. These include work, project activities, leadership, community service, and non-4-H activities. Then we have summaries of activities and accomplishments, recognition and awards, community service, leadership, and then finally your project summary. And we'll talk about all these in a little more detail here in just a second. For your story, this is where it gets a little different from your junior book. You have a story and photo portfolio, which is a separate Word document. You just go create a new document, title it My 4-H Story, and go from there. Use up to 10 pages of text and photos. Captions are not required for your photos. Again, remember, it's 3-page minimum of text, 3-page minimum of photos. And if you're doing your record book category in the photography division, you get an additional 6 pages for just photos. No text, no anything, just an additional 6 pages for photos to highlight your photography project that you've worked on throughout the year. Okay? For the report forms, my main project is food and nutrition, beef. Whatever you choose your record book category to be, that's what needs to go on that line right there. Then, what do I want to learn or do in this project year? You talk about your main project. So if your project is beef, you talk about what you wanted to do in the beef project this year. The next section is the personal journal. This is where you talk about all activities, events, and experiences that are completed. In addition to 4-H, you can include such things as school, sports, church, community service activities, awards, and honors. This is for all projects, including non-4-H activities. Can focus on the current year only. Focus on your major accomplishments. Summarize much as possible. Duplicate as needed. There are no page limits to this one, so this can be very long. I recommend putting them in chronological date order right here. The last column here should be it should either say 4-H or non-4-H is all they're looking for in that category, in that column there. Summary of activities and accomplishments. This is for all projects. Current year only. You have to list a maximum of 10. So if you had more than 10 for all your projects, then you have to take some of them out. I recommend if you have a whole bunch of them that are club, then you have 2 or 3 that are district, and you take some out. I recommend taking out some of the club ones and put the higher levels in here. Look better and help you be more successful as we advance to the district contest. Next section here, recognition and awards. We talk about list up the 5 significant awards and recognitions, medals, ribbons, trips, plaques, scholarships, etc. received in 4-H. This section here can be all of your 4-H years. So whatever awards you've won throughout your 4-H career can go here. But again, you have to narrow it down to 5. Focus on the most important and significant awards. Community service and citizenship. List community service or learning activities, cleanups, collections, anything that can go in here. Again, this encompasses all the projects you've done for the current 4-H year only. So stay within this 4-H year, but all of them that you've done, all that covered with all the projects you're involved with. Leadership experiences the same way. List what you did to assist throughout the 4-H year. Include general leadership such as club officer, county council, or county committee. And your main record book project, elected, appointed, or volunteer as well. Again, this is all 4-H projects this current year only. Next couple parts is your project summary. What future plans do you have with this project? This is for make sure you put in complete sentences. This is all projects for the current year only. Now that your project is complete, what are you most proud of? Okay, that wraps up the report form itself. Let's talk a little bit about transitions and things between age groups. Again, every year you'll update your personal information page. Intermediates, the 2 most current year report forms will be judged. Each year you will complete a new story and photo portfolio. Make sure when you're putting previous years in there, we don't need that story and photo portfolio from last year. We want to read your new one. So take that out, put your new one in. Let's talk a little bit about judging of record books. The rubric chart, we'll look at on the next page, is like a checkbox that best describes their assessment of each section of the book. Allows space for written comments next to each section. Members should be able to tell when you get your record book back what needs to be improved on based on the check marks and comments. Personal information page will not be judged. So when you get these record books back, if you qualify for the district contest, you can pull out those judges sheets, look at what recommendations they said to make, fix those and resubmit those for the district contest, and same if you qualify for the state contest. If you do not qualify, we'll hand these record books back hand these record books back to you in August at the 4-H Awards Banquet, and there you can look at the recommendations to help improve for the following year's record book. Okay, this is just a little bit of what the record book looks like. Record book score sheets look like. You need to make sure that you print 3 of these off for your record book. Fill out the top part, your name, Brazos County, District 9, what your record book category is, and circle intermediates. Print 3 of these out and paper clip these to the front of your record book. That way we have those for when we trade with the other counties. Then they will be ready to go for the judges to look at. As we talked about earlier, all of the forms that you need for your record book can be found at these websites. The Brazos County record book judging form, which says, yes, I want my record book judged, or no, I don't. It can be found at this top link right here. All the other report forms, score sheets, personal information page, and any other record book tip sheets, any and all of that can be found on the State 4-H website under the record book section. You can follow this link right here and it'll get you there. Includes our presentation today. Again, if you have any questions as you're putting your record book together, you can give us a call at the extension office, 823-0129. You can email me directly at my email here. We'll be happy to help you if you got any questions. Again, remember, all record books are due to our extension office on June 1st. Thank you.